Hello, friends. Today, we are going to crack a very important chemistry concept. How do you actually tell an acid from a base? Chella, let's jump right in. So, think of us as detectives on a mission. And what's our mission? It's simple. To identify acids and bases using some very cool tools called indicators. So, what's our game plan for today? First, we'll understand the mission. What's the problem? Then, we'll check out our tools, the indicators. After that, I'll show you how to record your results for the exam, share a little secret clue, and finally, give you a master guide to score full marks. Simple. Okay, first up, the mission, acids versus bases. So, what's the big deal here? What problem are we actually trying to solve? So just imagine, you have two beakers in front of you. Both have a clear liquid inside. Looks just like water. Now, I tell you one has HCl, that's hydrochloric acid, and the other has NaOH, sodium hydroxide. How on earth can you tell which is which? You can't just guess, right? That's the challenge we need to solve. So, how do we solve this puzzle? I mean, we obviously can't taste them. That would be a very, very bad idea. So we need some special tools. And in chemistry, we call these tools chemical indicators. And what exactly is an indicator? It's a very simple idea, really. It's just a substance that changes its color when you add it to an acid or a base. It's like a magic potion that gives you a signal, a color change. Think of it like a traffic light for chemicals. Okay, so our first and most famous tool is litmus paper. The rule is super simple, and you have to remember this for your exams. If you have an acid, blue litmus will turn red. And if you have a base, red litmus will turn blue. A simple trick to remember? Base and blue both start with B. Easy, right? Next up, we have methyl orange. This one's a liquid. With an acid, it turns red, and with a base, it turns yellow. Again, see? Very different and clear colors to tell you what's what. And our third indicator is phenolphthalein. Now, this one is a little bit tricky, so pay attention. In an acid, it does nothing. It stays completely colorless. But the moment you put it in a base, bam, it turns into this lovely pink color. So what's the main point to remember? No color change means it's an acid. If it turns pink, it's a base. All right, so we've done our tests, we've seen the color changes, but just doing the experiment is not enough, especially if you want to score in your exams. You have to show your results properly, like a real scientist. And this next part, listen carefully, this is for getting full marks in your exam. You must, and I'm saying it again, you must write your observations in a proper table. No long paragraphs, no stories, just a neat and clean table. This is the correct scientific way, and it's what the examiner wants to see. Let's look at a proper example. See this table? This is exactly how you should do it. For our first sample, HCl, red litmus, no change. Blue litmus, it turns red. Phenolphthalein, colorless. Methyl orange, red. So looking at all this evidence, what's our conclusion? It's an acid. Now for NaOH, red litmus turns blue, phenolphthalein turns pink, and methyl orange turns yellow. All the signs point to one thing. It's a base. See? So clear and easy to understand when it's in a table. So what's the main takeaway here? It's really simple. By just watching for these color changes and putting our results in a table, we can easily figure out if a solution is an acid or a base. No confusion at all. Okay, now for something extra cool. A little secret for those of you who want to know more. What if you couldn't see the color change? Is there another way to tell? Well, yes, there is. These are called olfactory indicators. Olfactory is just a fancy word for your sense of smell. So there are some things, like onion or clove oil, that actually change their smell when you put them in an acid or a base. So instead of looking for a color change, you're smelling for a change in odor. Pretty neat, huh? All right, let's get to the most important part for all you students. The final section, your guide to absolutely mastering this question in your exams. First, let's talk about the common mistakes you absolutely must avoid. Number 1, writing the wrong color changes. Don't write blue when it's red. Second, getting confused between the results for acids and bases. And the biggest mistake of all, forgetting to make that table. Please, 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 don't make these mistakes.
So, what should you do to get full marks? Here are the tips. First, learn all the color changes by heart. You have to know them perfectly. Second, always present your answer in a table. I can't say this enough. And third, use the correct words. Say acid and base. Be specific. Be scientific.
Okay, if you remember only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this golden line. Color change tells the nature of the solution. That's it. This one sentence is the main funda of this entire topic. Just remember this, and you'll be set.
And one last reminder, this activity is super, super important for your exams. A question on this comes up almost every year. So if you master these simple steps, you are guaranteed to score good marks.